Between October 2006 and June 2007, more than 500 students, one teacher, and some nuns succumbed to the contagion. An estimated 300 girls are sent home, and nearly everyone at Girlstown, a Catholic boarding school in Chaco, Mexico, is panicked. Students are complaining of a piercing sensation in their legs, and some are overcome with nausea and fevers. State, federal inspectors, and epidemiologists are sent to test the environment, the food, water, and soil, but the results show nothing unusual. And then the girls are tested themselves for tuberculosis, leptospirosis, and rickettsiosis, but still, they found nothing. It was as if the school had fallen under a strange spell. And soon, the pain intensified, and the outbreak spread to the hundreds, and now these girls report that they don't have any strength in their knees, accompanied by back pain. The Sisters of Mary are an order of nuns headquartered in South Korea, with aims to create dignified members of society by educating socially neglected girls of poor families located in secluded areas of Mexico. To entice students, the sisters offer 4 years of free education, housing, and meals. It was meant to initially be a refuge, a place where girls could get closer to God and escape poverty. During a field trip around a year earlier to the Universidad de Anahuac, an elite Catholic university in central Mexico, a student found a magazine containing a guide on how to make a Ouija board. The magazine referred to it as a tabla, and it is easy to make. It's just a board adorned with the words yes and no, along with a set of numbers and letters of the alphabet laid out in rows. The hands are placed on a circular piece of glass, and it moves to spell messages to the users. This tablet is said to answer questions while channeling spirits that engage in conversation, and eventually, according to accounts, one of the Girlstown students decides to make one. So the girls sneak up through a window in the 6th floor chapel to avoid waking up the 4 mothers, and one of these students is a natural leader, with young, beautiful, striking features, but it is reported that her mother was known in her hometown as a devotee to Saint Death, and she possessed witch-like powers. So her daughter leads this Ouija session late at night on this rooftop terrace of their dorm tower, and around the time the students start conjuring spirits with Ouija, they begin to experience sights and sounds they couldn't explain. Tales of ghosts and apparitions of restless souls become abundant, and after the outbreak erupts, it became difficult for some students to differentiate reality from nightmares and hauntings from hallucinations. One of these girls went to the bathroom thinking she was alone, but then she hears movement accompanied by a flush in a nearby stall. She then proceeded to open each stall to confirm she was alone, only to hear flushing from the stall where she had started. Terrified, she ran out as quickly as she could. And at that point it was constant. They heard children crying, babies crying, figures cloaked in darkness, and sometimes the students saw girls hanging in the hallways. One night, while many of the sick girls were gathering together, a veiled nun known as Mother Satali is moving among the girls, massaging their legs in silence, one by one. And since it was dark, all they saw was a silhouette. But when they saw her up close, it wasn't the mother because she was glowing white. But the next day, the girls explained it away as a visit from the Virgin Mary. When the boarding school was formed, there was a girl about 12 years old who died of an illness that made her bleed from the mouth, most likely tuberculosis. And since then, this girl has been seen in various places, and now that the girls are sick, she's appearing even more, dressed in white, running in the fields, or she suddenly appears on the stairs with blood on her face. They also saw babies with their umbilical cords like fetuses, except they were bloody with red eyes and wrinkled faces. And the last one seen was a baby with no face beside the Lord. As interest in Ouija spread, the students are excited about the Girlstown basketball tournament in the spring of 2006. And this tournament is a beloved tradition among students because it is one of the most freewheeling events ever sanctioned at this school, one in which all the girls get to interact with each other. And this competition is across every grade level and dormitory, and the prize is bragging rights for the entire year. Of course, in an attempt to secure victory, the girls now intervene with their newfound connection to the spirit world, and they want to win the tournament. And sure enough, they barrel to victory, but this victory was not free. An earthquake-level development ensued when the nuns discovered the identity of the student leading these seances. Scolding her, they stated that this game is not permitted in the house of God, and they decide to expel the witch as soon as arrangements can be made, but the girl refused to depart without leaving an impression. As she is taken from her dorm and held in a room away from her classmates, a strange event occurs, but no one else is with the student to corroborate her story. The official explanation is that a wind blew through the room, slamming a door on her finger, which sliced off while spraying blood in the stairway and hall. And on her way out, the banished student encounters a group of former dorm mates, and this is when she casts her curse. The exact words are lost, but everybody agrees on the message she conveyed at that very moment. Every one of you in my generation who accused me or thought badly about me will fall sick. You will be sick in your legs. You will not be able to walk. You will be cursed. Later that night, several students dream of the banished student surrounded by flames, laughing while stating that they would be next and it is their fault because they accused her. Eventually, all the students who stayed at the school eventually recovered and stopped showing symptoms in their legs. And in the final federal report of this case, signed by several scientists and doctors, the 2007 incident at Girlstown was classified as a psychogenic disorder of movement consistent with conversion disorders.